we will see the introduction to clutch. This is the part of Unit 3 of your subject Theory of Machines. So before moving ahead with the clutch, let us see why this clutch is required in any automotive system. To do that, let us first see the typical powertrain used in a automotive system. So this is how the typical powertrain in any automotive system looks like. It has a prime mover, that is the engine, which is connected to the transmission gearbox, and then the transmission gearbox, the torque is transmitted to final drive, which is basically the differential, and then the power is, or the torque is transmitted to the wheels that then applies the tractive force to move the vehicle. In transmission gearbox, or in the gearbox, the torque basically get multiplies by the gear ratio. So basically you can see here that this is the prime mover or the engine to which the transmission or the typical gearbox is connected, and then from gearbox the torque is transmitted to the final drive or the differential, and through differential it is distributed to the wheels. So you can see here between the engine and the transmission there is this clutch attached. Now the point we have to observe in an IC engine is that the engine itself provides very little torque when the speeds are low, and practically no torque when the speed is close to zero. So that is why when we operate with an internal combustion engine, we require what is called as a move-off element to move the vehicle from rest. This move-off element is nothing but a clutch. Suppose we imagine a scenario where the engine is idling and our car is stopped, maybe at a signal, and we want to essentially move the car from this condition. Then what we do? We engage the first gear and slowly leave the clutch pedal while slowly pressing the accelerator pedal. So that is what we do. Now in fact, when the clutch pedal is pressed, the clutch is disengaged. So as we press the clutch pedal, the clutch is disengaged. So the operation is counterintuitive. So when we are depressing the clutch pedal, in fact the clutch disengages from the engine flywheel. So this is shown here, that the clutch is disengaging with the engine flywheel, and you can see the main drive shaft is now not rotating, but the engine shaft is, or the crankshaft is still rotating. So when we are engaging the clutch slowly by releasing the clutch pedal, so when we release the clutch pedal, we are engaging the clutch with the flywheel. The wheels, the gearbox shaft and the clutch are going to be addressed initially, while the engine is going to be rotating at some speed. So there is some differential between the two, and that needs to be overcome. And it needs to be overcome in such a way that the engine is not suddenly loaded, because the engine cannot provide so much of torque at low speeds. So there should be some smooth transfer of torque to start the vehicle, while ensuring that after some time all the components are rotating as one in synchronization. So that is very important requirement. You can see here, as we press the pedal, the clutch is disengaged, and as the clutch is disengaged, the gearbox shaft stops rotating while the crankshaft is still rotating, and as we are releasing the pedal, the clutch is getting engaged, and in that engaged condition both the crankshaft, flywheel, the clutch and the gearbox shaft, they are all rotating in synchronization. But essentially there is a slip between them, and as the time progresses the slip is overcome, and essentially the engine output shaft and the gearbox shaft, that is the input shaft, starts rotating as one after some time. Now, before we look at the construction and realization of clutch, let us see the broad classification of clutch. So, this moving of element can be classified as a frictional clutch or a frictional device and a hydrodynamic clutch. Frictional clutch is further divided into what is called as dry clutch and wet clutch. And this moving of device is also hydrodynamic in nature. So a common hydrodynamic moving of element is what is called as a torque converter, which is widely used in automotive transmission. So we will be focusing on dry clutches, which are very commonly used in manual transmission. So this is what we want to look. Now, what are the functions of the clutch? Let us see. The first function of the clutch is to provide a link between the prime mover and the transmission. That is very important function. So we have already seen this, that the clutch provides, or the clutch is connected between the prime mover and the transmission. Next, the clutch should also allow for a smooth takeoff drive when the vehicle is moved from rest. So when the vehicle is moved from rest, the takeoff of the vehicle should be smooth. So the engagement of the clutch with the flywheel should be smooth. And the third one, the clutch should also allow for brief disengagement between the engine and gearbox when the gear change is done. So during the gear change, the clutch should also provide the disengagement between the engine and the gearbox. So these are the typical expectations from the clutch. So as we are discussing a friction clutch, so the flywheel which comes out from the engine is rotating along with the engine crankshaft, and the so-called clutch plate, which we are going to look at shortly, is connected to the input gear shaft of the gearbox, as you can see here. Then let us say the vehicle is at rest and the engine is rotating at some speed. When the clutch is going to be engaged, this clutch plate is pushed against the flywheel and there is a speed differential, and due to friction the speed differential is overcome and the torque is transmitted from the flywheel to the clutch plate and they start rotating as one, and that is why this is called a friction clutch. Now let us look what are the typical components of a dry clutch. So the main components of a friction clutch or a dry clutch are as follows. The main component is what is called a clutch plate. Before that we have a flywheel. So the clutch plate is pushed against the flywheel by what is called as a pressure plate or a pressure plate assembly, as shown here. So this pressure plate is the component which pushes the clutch plate against the flywheel, and when we want to disengage or engage the clutch, that happens through a mechanism that ultimately uses what is called as a clutch fork or a release fork and a release bearing to do this action. And all these components are housed in a clutch. These are the basic components of the friction or dry clutch. So this is all for today's lecture. In the next lecture, we'll discuss each of the components in detail and also discuss the working of friction clutch or a single plate clutch in details. Thank you.